Imagine this. Right now, as you're listening, the ancient stones of Jerusalem are whispering secrets. Cracks are spiderwebbing across the Mount of Olives. The Golden Gate, sealed shut for centuries, is stirring with eerie movements, and seismic rumbles echo through the great Rift Valley. Is this the biblical countdown to the second coming of Christ? We're diving deep into the Zechariah 14 verse 4 prophecy, where the mountain splits in two, creating a valley of escape. Recent reports from 2025 and 2026 have ignited global buzz about these geological shifts. Could they be prophetic warnings, signaling Jesus' return? Stick with me because this isn't just history. It's happening now, and it might change everything you thought you knew about the end times. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your buddy here, chilling with you like we're grabbing coffee and swapping wild stories. But this one, man, it's got that spine-tingling vibe that keeps you up at night, scrolling for more. Picture Jerusalem, that ancient city pulsing with mystery. And right on its eastern edge, the Mount of Olives. Not some random hill, no way. This place is ground zero for the biggest moments in human destiny. We're talking tears from kings, prayers that shook the heavens, and promises that echo through time. If you've ever wondered why this ridge overlooking the Temple Mount feels like it's holding its breath, well, buckle up, because recent fissures and fault line jitters are making folks ask, is the earth itself gearing up for something divine? Let's rewind a bit, ease into this. You know how some spots just feel heavy, loaded with history? That's the Mount of Olives for you. Back in the day, King David, the slingshot hero, he fled across this very mountain, weeping as his own son turned against him. Fast forward to Jesus' time. This was his hangout. He'd teach here, overlooking the city, dropping truths that flipped the world upside down. But it gets intense. Remember the Garden of Gethsemane? Tucked right at the base. That's where Jesus faced his darkest hour. Praying so hard, sweat like drops of blood hitting the ground. Agony you can almost feel in the air even now. And then, the glory. After rising from the dead, Jesus leads his disciples up that slope. They watch him ascend into the clouds. Angels appear, saying, "This same Jesus, he'll come back just like this." Acts 1 verse 11, straight up. Chills, right? It's like the mountain's been waiting ever since. A silent witness to the promise of return. But hold on, we're not done with the Bible ties yet. Flip to the prophets and things get downright apocalyptic. Zechariah 14 verse 4. This verse hits like a thunderclap. On that day his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, east of Jerusalem, and the Mount of Olives will be split in two from east to west, forming a great valley, with half of the mountain moving north and half moving south. Oh, not metaphorical, folks. Literal split. A massive earthquake ripping the ridge apart, creating an escape route for God's people amid chaos. Enemies closing in, Jerusalem under siege. And boom, divine intervention. The Lord steps in, literally plants his feet there, and the earth obeys. Scholars debate this stuff endlessly. Some say it's symbolic, like God's deliverance parting ways like the Red Sea. Others, straight up future event, tied to the second coming. Preterists argue it might have echoed in past events, like the AD 70 destruction of Jerusalem. But for many believers, it's end times real. And with today's headlines, it's feeling closer than ever. Now, let's layer in the hope, or the tension, depending on your view. This mountain isn't just Christian turf. Nope. It's where Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all lock eyes on the horizon, waiting for Judgment Day. Crazy, right? For Jews, it's Resurrection Central. Over 150,000 graves dot the slopes, all facing the Temple Mount. Tradition says when the Messiah comes, the dead rise first from here. Folks have been buried there for millennia, hoping to be front row for the big reveal. Christians, it's the launch pad for Jesus' ascension and the touchdown for his return. The birthplace of that unshakable hope, eternity with the King. And Islam, they see it as the gathering spot for final judgment. Souls assembled, scales balanced, justice served. One mountain, three faiths, all converging on this epic endgame. Makes you wonder, Is that why the air feels electric there? Like the world's spiritual GPS is pinned right on those olive trees. Alright, shifting gears. Because this isn't all ancient scrolls and faith leaps. Science is crashing the party, and it's got some startling facts. Underneath that sacred soil, a beast of a fault line, the Dead Sea transform, part of the massive Great Rift Valley stretching from Africa up through the Middle East. This thing's no joke. It's where tectonic plates grind like uneasy neighbors. Geologists have been warning for years. Jerusalem's overdue for a big one. The mountain's made of chalky, soft rock, fragile stuff that crumbles under pressure. Recent studies, like that 2025 paper in Seismological Research Letters, show seismicity picking up north of the Dead Sea. Earthquakes migrating, faults awakening. And get this, in 2025, Ethiopia down the rift got hit with a swarm up to 5.8 magnitude. Closer to home, Jordan's recording quakes along the Jordan Rift Valley. No massive shaker in Jerusalem yet, but the signs? They're there. Tectonic creep, slow but steady. Could this pressure be more than plates shifting? Maybe the earth aligning for a divine deadline? And now, the reports that are blowing up online. If you've been on YouTube or Facebook lately, yeah, I'm talking 2025 into 2026 vibes. You've seen the videos. Titles screaming, "The Mount of Olives is splitting open," or "Prophecy fulfilled before our eyes." One from November 2025 questions a new hotel build, hinting at deeper underground shifts. Another, December 2025, shows alleged cracks near the Jewish cemetery, not just scratches, but fault line fractures. Geologists chime in. The mountain sits right on the DST, capable of major events. Eyewitnesses swear they've seen fresh fissures widening after minor tremors. A TikTok from late 2025 tours the site, pointing out splits that weren't there a year ago. And Instagram Reels? One from October 2025 warns. Cracks appearing along the slopes, Zechariah's prophecy unfolding. Sure, some are sensational, social media loves hype. But cross-check with science, the rift's active. A January 2026 global quake update notes activity in nearby zones, like Indonesia and Chile, but reminds us the Dead Sea Fault's history includes devastating hits, like the 749 AD quake that leveled cities. Is it ramping up? Data says modest for now, but long-term? Overdue. Let's zoom in on the creepiest part, the Golden Gate. Also called the Eastern Gate, staring straight at the Mount of Olives. This thing's been sealed since the 1500s, when Ottoman Sultan Suleiman bricked it up. Why? Legend says to block the Messiah's entry. But rewind to Ezekiel 44 verses 1 to 2. The prophet sees a vision. The man brought me back to the outer gate of the sanctuary, the one facing east, and it was shut. The Lord said to me, "This gate is to remain shut. It must not be opened. No one may enter through it. It is to remain shut because the Lord, the God of Israel, has entered through it." Boom. Prophetic lockdown. Christians interpret this as the Messiah, Jesus, entering once, and it'll stay sealed until his return. Jews see it tied to their awaited Messiah. Scholars add layers. Historical context in Ezekiel's temple vision, symbolizing God's glory departing and returning. Some say it's fulfilled already. Others, future literal event. But recent buzz? Wild. Videos from December 2025 claim strange movements. Stones shifting, dust falling, even creaks at dawn. A Facebook post from early January 2026. The sealed gate is showing signs. Enough to scare people. Another YouTube drop. Miracle in Israel. The sealed gate is moving. Pilgrims report vibrations, cracks nearby. Is it seismic settling? Or something more? The line between science and sign, blurring fast. Feel that tension building? Like the ground under your feet isn't so solid anymore. Revelation 16 verse 18 amps it up. Then there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, and a severe earthquake. No earthquake like it has ever occurred since mankind has been on earth. So tremendous was the quake. Imagine that hitting Jerusalem, the big one, splitting the mount, fulfilling Zechariah. But here's the flip. It's not all doom. These cracks? They're reminders. The Bible calls them birth pangs. Matthew 24 style. Labor pains before something new bursts forth. A kingdom that can't be shaken, like Hebrews 12 verse 28 says, "Therefore, since we are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful, and so worship God acceptably with reverence and awe." The stones are crying out, sure, Luke 19 verse 40. But they're shouting hope. History's racing to a climax. The King of Kings making all things new. Revelation 21 verse 5. Behold, I am making everything new. So, where does that leave us? You and me, scrolling through life in 2026. If the mount's fidgeting, the gate's whispering. Are we paying attention? Not to fearmonger, nah, that's not my style. But to awaken. Check your foundation. Is it rock solid or shifting sand? Matthew 7 verses 24 to 27. The wise man builds on the rock. Jesus, unshakable. These signs, whether full-on prophecy or natural warnings, they're nudges. Get right. Dig deeper. Share the story. Man, we've covered a lot, from David's tears to today's tremors. If this got your wheels turning like it did mine, hit that like button. Subscribe for more dives into mysteries that blend faith, science, and the unknown. Drop a comment. Do you think the splits are signs or just geology? Have you visited the mount? Let's chat. And bell on, next video might be the one that blows your mind. Thanks for hanging out. Stay watchful, and peace out.